Hi, I'm Kylie from Livewire Nutrition, and today I am going to share my best tips for getting your kids to eat healthier food. Okay, so we all know that, we all want the best for our kids, and, getting them to eat healthier foods, it's giving them the nutrition that they need to fuel their bodies to do all the stuff that they need to do. But it's easier said than done sometimes. If you're used to eating, lots of foods, some, processed foods and convenience foods, the transition over to, more whole foods, it's not impossible, but, you can have some challenges. So here's some, ideas for you to get started. So first of all, don't keep junk food in the house, okay? So as a parent, you're the gatekeeper. So if you don't want it in your house, don't put it in your trolley, okay? It doesn't even make it past the front door, so, you're winning already. Don't worry about, you need it or your husband need it. Nobody in the house actually needs any of that junk food. So, yeah, you'll survive. Okay, and next one, think outside the cereal box for breakfast. Okay, so apart from rolled oats, there isn't one single breakfast cereal that is okay. All right, so Nutri-Grain gets a 5-star health rating. Like, how does that work? Like, any intelligent person knows that Nutri-Grain is full of sugar. So how it gets a health rating is beyond me. But to be honest, even, things like Weet-Bix, Vitabrits, we think they're healthy, but actually they're full of they're just processed wheat and sugar. There's nothing more to it. So, how about, instead of that, make some porridge with the oats. It takes 5 minutes to boil an egg. So a piece of egg or, eggs and salters on toast. Make a frittata or something the night before. It takes 3 minutes to make fried eggs. So, making a cooked breakfast or something more nutritious for the whole family to, fill you up and get you going throughout the day, it doesn't take a lot of time. So the next one is pack a nude lunchbox. So by this, I mean it should have foods that don't have wrappers, okay? So, if we're thinking, obviously a sandwich, but then, there's protein that comes in the form of eggs, cheese, we've got tuna, we've got chicken, we've got turkey, we've got, ham's probably not as healthy, but, certainly it's important to have the protein in the lunchbox. And then pop some healthy fats in there as well. So some avocado, some seeds. We obviously can't take nuts to school, but, seeds are a good snack. What else? Some, whole grain, crackers or, whole grain bread rolls. Now, primary school children are quite often supervised at lunchtime, and they're not allowed to throw their food out. Okay, high school's a different story, but, if they're hungry, they're going to eat what you've given them, all right? And if if they haven't eaten what they've, had at lunchtime and it comes home, don't be afraid to serve that up again for afternoon tea. Okay, next one is don't ban the canteen, all right? So kids need to make their own choices and talk to them about how food makes them feel, okay? So if they're going to have a pie, for lunch versus, I don't know, some sushi or a piece of frittata or something like that, they're going to feel not that great after the pie. So talk to them, let them choose, but, talk to them. And it always blows my mind, that so many canteens still serve up rubbish food. So, if you're not happy with the choices that are in the canteen, maybe go through, pick 2 healthy choices, and then give your kids the option of those 2 choices. So at least then they've got a bit of ownership over what they're going to eat without, eating rubbish. Okay, so next tip, our kids aren't pets. So please don't reward them with food, all right? So we do it with our pets, you sit, you get a treat. But why are we doing it with our kids? All right, so food should be thought as fuel, not as a reward. Okay, our kids deserve better. So, reward them with give them a hug, give them your attention, read them a story, sit down and play with them for 5 minutes. Not an ice cream or a biscuit or, and I see it all the time at sports canteens. So little Jimmy just had a half an hour swimming lesson. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He's on his way home for dinner and he gets a Magnum because he did a half-hour swimming lesson. no, he didn't burn the calories in the swimming lesson for the Magnum to start with. Not that we're talking about calories, but, we're just giving him a lay of sugar and fat right before a meal that he doesn't need. So if you do choose to buy your kids something, make it occasionally so they're not expecting it every single time. So next tip is, and this might sort of sound a bit, counter what I'm all about, but party food is okay at parties, all right? So parties are meant to be fun. Okay, and having occasional treat foods are all part of going to a party. So, there's a few things that you can do here. So feed your kids before they go, so they're not starving and they're not going to stand there and hoover the entire party table. And then, also talk to them about why it's not a good idea to eat too much junk food. Just say, it's okay to have one or two, but we don't need to have stand there, constantly eating. And talk to them about how their tummy is going to feel. It's not going to feel good. So try, by talking to them, we start to make that association between how good food makes us feel good and how junk food doesn't make us feel good. Okay, so these strategies are they're just really small steps to get your kids eating less junk food and more sort of whole, fresh, real foods. So if you'd love to know more, jump in and join our Healthy Families program today. Okay, so it's the change in your family that you've been waiting to make. I'll talk to you soon. See you in the next video.